Discover how to leverage AI agents for your small business in today's episode with Naveen Kumar Krishnan. He's a solutions architect at Microsoft, driven by a passion for technology and innovation. And he'll be sharing how you too can leverage AI agents to improve your productivity and reduce workload. So, Naveen, tell us, how can entrepreneurs leverage AI agents for their small business?
AI Superwoman podcast with Patrascu shares the world's most innovative AI tools and processes to go from technophobe to AI pro, attract leads, close sales, automate your business, enhance productivity, and deploy AI agents to do your work.
Hey, first of all, hi to Lily and your audience. Glad to meet you all. And this is a good question to start with. So entrepreneurs first, everybody needs to have AI in their system somehow incorporated, and because that's a fancy word and that's a go-to-market word, right? So if you want to sell your product, or if you want to enhance your product to take your product to the next level, then definitely AI is going to be the one of the key element which people expect, or the which buyer or your end customers expect, right? So before thinking about AI and then having into your product, first what I would say is think from a broader perspective, like where AI can be infused, right? Don't just limit yourself to a chatbot or a starter capacities where you can find the complete use of AI, but instead what I would say is understand your product completely and then make sure where all we can use AI, right? Leverage AI. For example, there may be a certain product where you get a lot of customer calls, and then customer asking how to or where to, and how to navigate this, or how to fix this problem. I got stuck here. So these types of questions can be easily answered by a chatbot. Chatbot with some data knowledge behind the scenes can easily help you solve those questions, which will take away a lot of unnecessary questions to your customer support team, so that they can be even more productive, and they can actually work on the real problems, what is actually causing what is actually stopping the business. So this can be shifted left to the AI, and then AI can do as a chatbot. So that is one thing what you can do. And apart from that, every day, if you have a business, and every day if you have some routine task for your tech team, right? So every day they come in, and then they clean unnecessary files, and then they do some activities, like they do some certain tasks to keep their system up and running for every day. Then those tasks can be automated using agents. So agents are the one which are going to do a real task on your behalf. So it takes certain privileges, and based on whatever you have granted it to do, and it does this job for you, and then it can clean up those stuffs, and then keep your system happy, so that you can be even more productive, so your team can work on the new capabilities or the new features which your product actually needs, instead of focusing on the cleanup work, right? So those tasks can be handled by AI agents. So apart from that, there are several other places in terms of development as well. Today, AI can write code, right? So you are developing team for a certain feature or a certain capability to your product. They don't need to dig deep, understand the code, or if you have a new hire, and the new hire doesn't need to understand the code and then do everything from scratch. Instead, the agent can do a lot of helping there, where the GitHub Copilot or something, where you tell, like, go ahead and analyze my code, and this is the new feature or capability what I want in my solution. Can you help me write a code? And it can give you a list of places where you wanted to make code changes, and those can be incorporated as well. So these are the three key areas where I see a first entrepreneur or a product which is already there out there can leverage AI or AI agents. So yeah.
Thank you. Now, in order for you to give a task to the custom AI agents, what you need to do first is to have your standard operating procedures, your documents. It sounds to me like you have to have everything kind of like mapped out. Because, for example, you can get an agent to do your work if you already know what you usually do. But imagine that the company doesn't have that the knowledge is actually in people's heads, and it's not written anywhere, and there's no scripts, there's no procedures. People are just doing stuff because they started doing it, and there's nothing written. Where would you start to create these kind of standard operating procedures so that the custom AI agent would have something to work with? Because once you have something to work with, you can give this you can give PDFs, you can give information, you can give documents, you can give so many different things to the AI agent as scripts, in terms of, let's say, even if the client asks for this, give them this kind of answer and that kind of thing, right? Whereas if you have nothing, where do you start?
Yeah, good question. So here we can divide this into two pieces, Lily. So the first piece is about the product knowledge, right? You don't have any product knowledge. So in that case, what I would say is, if there are any pre-existing videos, which is already you have about the product, and those transcripts can be fed to a AI, and then it can act as a knowledge source for it to answer some questions. So that is step number one, because the transcript, it can read the video to text transcript, and it can do anything. So there are a lot of possible ways to achieve that. So that is one thing what you can start with first. If there are existing videos, try to convert it to a document, or document it. Or if not, and if there is something else that is needed, what you can always do is you have your source repository, like where you have all your software and the code written. So you just give it to some copilots, and then the copilot can completely analyze the code and then give some level of information, like this is what the product is, and this is what the product is meant for, and it can do a few other things, and these are the list of items. So it gives you at least 30 to 40% of knowledge about the product itself. And as a next step, you can always have agent sits next to the user system, and then monitor the complete user process itself, like how the user behaves to each and every page, and what contents they are filling, and what items it's being captured. So all these details agents can collect by itself, and using a web scraper or something, where if your product is online, it can do a web scraping and then tell you what type of product it is, and then where can we add some features. So that knowledge can be added as well. So with this all three, what we have is, we'll end up having around 60 to 75% of our knowledge, and the remaining 30% of the knowledge comes from the human itself, like who knows the product better. So you can get this altered and then create a complete document out of your product, and then you can use that to ground the large language or a small language model, so that it can start answer user questions. So this is one part of what we are discussing here. And the second part is, there are certain because the agent has a code interpreter in it, so where it can write a script for fixing the problem. Like, for example, if you want something, right? For example, I want a snake game, right? And this, I use this example everywhere, so that's what I tried first. If you want a snake game, and you just tell agents like 10 lines, right? I want to play this game, and this game should be for this level of age, and with all the details it collected from you, and it can go create its own Python script. It can create a complete game set which will work for you, and that game can be played. Why I'm saying this is, it has got that capability to create a program by itself, and for your need. So using that, you can always agents can do a lot of other works as well on that side, is what I'm trying to say. So 50% of document side we have talked about, and the rest is about new scripts and the new problems and the new solutions, right? So those can be taken care by the agents, be it technical or be it domain knowledge, or if you have trained domain knowledge model, then it can also take care of that. Yeah.
Thank you. Now imagine that I have a publishing business, which I do, okay, and I have a speaking business where my partner trains entrepreneurs about how to become confident, charismatic speakers. And then how do you take that to a global stage? And then you speak in front of thousands of people confidently and with charisma. And because of that, you start to attract high caliber clients, opportunities to connect with influencers, and business partnerships that could mean the world to your business. Now, I don't have systems, for example. I have some scripts, for example, okay, how do you write a book, or and I have some videos for that. But for the most part, I don't have that many standard operating procedures for doing most of the things in my business. Okay. So take me through, and I know you mentioned it earlier. You mentioned, for example, Copilot. Tell me how you would use Copilot in order to get the information about my business. So let's say I have a Dropbox that is full with information. So let's say this is how I do systems for every single book. In the same way that, for example, Robert Kiyosaki wrote the cash flow system, I think it was called, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he had the cash flow system. Okay, so I do this kind of systems for every single book. And let's say I have a certain system for writing the book, and then I have a different system for branding yourself, and I have another system for for speaking, for example, and becoming a charismatic speaker. But it's not, it's not for the most part written. A lot of it is, let's say I have the finished product, let's say in Dropbox. And yeah, there is some information online about books that I have published and what they are about and this kind of thing. So how would you start to create standard operating procedures for someone in my case?
So here we can again go back to the agent, what we discussed about, right? So agent has this wonderful capability, multiple agents and with multiple modality can work with each other and then try to come up with the solutions. For example, here you said that I have some knowledge source that's available in Dropbox. We can use a file search agent which can go always look up your file and then get that necessary information from. And on the second piece where you said there are some information that are available online which was already published, here again the web pieces of the task, web agent, right? They can go to the web and then get all the details from the web that is needed or required. And there are we can create 2 or 3 more agents. So one agent will the user proxy agent itself, like it's you, right? You give your task and you don't have to participate in each and every conversation, right? You give the task and you can tell whether I have to be participated in each and every task you do, or you can bring me in as and when required. So that's your user proxy agent. And you can have one another project manager agent, which can kind of manage all these agents, right? It can assign tasks to one agent and it can receive the task response back from that agent, and then it can talk to the second agent, get the details, and then try to massage the details and then give the data to someone. And the third or the fourth or fifth agent, the last agent where we talk, can be evaluator, which can always, based on your previous work, whatever you did, right? It can do a summary of evaluation, like how this has been done in the past and whatever it's preparing now and how it is preparing and how beautiful it can make to even beat whatever you have done so far, right? So with all this put in place, you can add additional 2 more agents for your simple task, like whatever, because there are so many other things which has to be taken, right? Like for example, video making or this making or doing this or such anything can be an individual agent itself, and with a group chat or sequential, if you wanted to go in any manner, right? Be it sequential or be it a conversable group chat agent. So those can be made or built so that they all can work together in a same platform or a different platform, and then they can give you the results back. So this is what the new system is capable of, which it can do.
Where can entrepreneurs go to set this up? Is it that you go to a website that has all of these agents already set up and you just pay like a subscription to use them? Or is it that people need a consultant like you to figure out what people need in order to implement them in their business? And then they wouldn't necessarily pay a subscription to anyone, but you would basically set it up on a custom basis for them? Or is there another alternative that I haven't mentioned?
Yeah, very nice question. So yeah, as like what we are right now, so at this situation, you may need someone to help you or assist you with the level of knowledge, like me or someone who is expert in AI, right? So this level of knowledge is the must for you to create this kind of setup. And but the future is something different. So in future, so this is just a very early stages of agents, right? So it's still growing, and it's still getting built by a lot and lot many enterprises. So in that case, maybe in a year or two, and those agents can be available. Like you go to a library and you pick the book what you read, what you want to read, right? So those agents will be available for you in the library, and you can tell like this is the task what I want to perform. Can I take this agent from? So that agent will be available for you, and then you can run it in your own laptop if you have access to the systems, and with some advanced knowledge to a some little bit knowledge to the technology, you will be able to achieve this in future, maybe a year or two. But with the current situations where we are right now, you may need some assistant to guide you through the process. So understand your business first, and then guide you, and then take you through all the steps, and then implement to or achieve whatever you want. Yeah.
Thank you. Now, I think I have seen also some websites, some platforms where you can just basically pay a subscription and you hire a certain number of AI agents as well. Is that a good solution as well?
Yeah. So currently, how it's available is there are agents. So there are pre-built agents. So there are agent services that are available with Microsoft and Azure, and there are a few other frameworks which is already available, and that framework can help you build this complete setup. Whatever we are talking about, like conversable agents talking in a group chat. So these types of things, it's always you need a certain framework. So there are like 3 to 4 frameworks which are very familiar that's available out there, like AutoGen, AG2, and Semantic Kernel, and there are many others as well. Apart from whatever I'm saying, right? There are so many agents that are available out there. So those agents framework needs deep knowledge on how it works and how to achieve the results what we want. With that knowledge, if you approach those frameworks, you'll be able to do this setup with the help of a consultant. So that's out there. Yeah. These are the two things which is readily available, but the future is different. So we don't know how it's going to be in next 6 months. It can change drastically so that you can do everything by yourself. But this is the current stage, what I'm talking about now.
Thank you. Tell us about other ways to leverage AI agents in your small business. For example, to make sales.
Yeah. So there are different LOBs, line of business, for your company. So to start with sales, for example, you can create a reachable which can reach your end users or your audience or your clients or whomsoever it is meant for, right? It can easily reach them. So those types of contents can be created by agent because it has good knowledge of that's information that's available in web and about your product. With those two combined, and it can create some interactive content which can reach. So even today, when I was just watching my LinkedIn, I saw a post where Volvo has created its own ad using AI. So within like fraction of minutes, like, it has created a fantastic ad with EV product, so that it was like greenery ad. So that is also possible with AI, right? You can create ads in sometimes, and then you can reach even in fact, right? You can based on the LinkedIn data or other thing, it can even a lot of product out there which can even scrape and then get the details from internet and then make it approachable or reachable to the end user. So it knows like which user you can reach at which time and where you will get a lot of response back, right? So it can even ideate that from. So this is one thing what I see from sales. And apart from sales, you can use AI agents in every place, right? For example, you have copilots for all your emails, summarization, calls, and everything, so that you don't have to be in a meeting whole day. And then if you have something else important, or if you have a customer meeting where you need to focus on, so you just have a recording and the transcripting capabilities in your meeting which can do all this. So that's day-to-day activities where you can save some time and then be more productive. So that is one way. And apart from that, in many ways, right? So it depends on, again, the final or the end solution is completely depend on the use case itself. If you have some use case and if you wanted to solve, then definitely everything can be done with the help of agents, is what I would say. Yep.
Thank you. Are there any other agents, AI agents, that can be leveraged to make sales? Because I saw, for example, one app, I think it was called SalesApe.ai, and I haven't tested it, but I wonder whether you know of any particular names of AI agents and how it would work to kind of deploy them to make sales in your business.
Yeah, so there are a lot every day. I'm saying, I think I heard this news, right? There are 1,500 startup AI startups that's out there today. So, which means everybody is trying to make something different. So it's very hard for me to keep up what's out there. And maybe like you go check if that really solves your purpose and if that meets your use case, right? Whatever you have, and then definitely I would recommend go with that. But at present, I am not aware of anything that can help you really based on your use cases. Yeah.
Thank you. What about leveraging AI agents for lead generation and getting new potential clients through lead scraping?
Yeah, so that's available. I think there are few tools what I already heard about, like Zoom Info or other things which they are using. They are using this AI to get these leads or information from. For example, if your target audience are retail, and I think they do all the web scraping and everything and get all the possible information from the user. So there are several products out there, and I would say instead of building from scratch, try to leverage those product, and those product can help you get the leads for your sales business. Yep.
Thank you. What about leveraging AI agents in order to automate the business to kind of reduce the actual workload? What are the types of things that you can ask your AI agents to do to minimize your workload?
Yeah, so there are several tasks or several things what you can do as part of this agent. So it depends on each and every individual's use case. For me, what I would say is if I can automate my own most of the time I spend in reading emails and then getting this details and how my day is going to look like, and those types of things where AI agents can definitely help. And apart from that, if your business is more towards what you say, I'm a small entrepreneur business, and then I have this, and for example, even for this podcast, right? So you can even, based on the conversation, you can have a parallel agent which is running, and then it can hear my voice, and then it can decide like what question comes next, and which will be more impressive or more valuable to your podcast itself when it go live. Right, so that can be developed by a agent, so where it can listen and then get a summarization of what I am talking, and based on that it can pull the key points which is more needed by your audience, right? What your audience like the most based on your audience knowledge, right? These are the list of audience what I have, and can you generate me a question based on the conversation what I'm having with Naveen. So you can deploy an agent there, and that agent can do. So that is one example, live example, as we are talking now. And there are a few other cases. It depends industry by industry. Like manufacturing industry needs something different, and financial or fintechs that needs something different, and retail especially, right, where you can have deploy your agents, and it can read read me like what I usually buy, and what kind of promotions can definitely help me. So those types of calculations and data mining can be done with those help of agents.
Thank you. For the podcasting industry, what other AI agents can be deployed and what tasks could they be given?
Yeah, definitely. So the first I would say is find a right host, and find a right guest, like us, like you and me. So that's where your complete conversation starts, right? And that's the first place I would say. And the next thing is based on the previous podcast, whatever we have did, and it can go analyze and which got a number of listens and number of impressions. Using that data, it can again go and then pull a lot of facts, like this is what the key topics or key things what people interest on. So based that data can be used and then make your podcast grow even more bigger, right? Because currently you have to listen and then you have to go, and you don't have time to do all this, right? So that you may be releasing around 5 to 6 videos every week and going back and forth and then keeping them all in a ledger, or that's not possible. So where here the agents can work on your behalf, and then come back with some impressive questions for you to go with. So that's the second thing what I would say. And the final thing is finding the right audience itself, like how you can grow the audience. Targeting this audience, what can be the topics what you can discuss with whom, right? So giving that kind of knowledge or that kind of metrics will definitely help you promote you to the next level. So these are the things what I can really see as a guest. But if once I'm a host, then definitely I would have a lot of other ways where I will definitely leverage agents. So.
Thank you. For turning your books into audiobooks, what is the best tool that can mimic your voice in the best way possible? Because I have tried a few and I haven't managed to find one that actually mimics my voice really well.
Oh, okay. Azure AI Speech, I think that's the only tool where it can convert with another OCR capability, right? So you have first OCR on your front, and OCR is the one which is going to read your book, the content itself, and then that content can be sent to a speech API, and the speech API can digest the content, and where you can choose multiple voices, be it pre-trained voice, or it can be a custom voice as well. And if you use custom voice, and it may ask you to talk few sentences, and based on that it grabs all your modulations, and with that modulation as input and the data is input on the other side, it can talk as like you. So that's one place. And in order for you to build, I don't think it's really possible, but if you can get some help of a consultant or someone that can do, or if there is a tool which is using these features or these capabilities from Microsoft Azure, then that tool can help you as an end goal.
Thank you. So you've actually used this tool for leveraging your voice, for mimicking your voice in order to turn it into an audiobook of some voice memo of some kind. Have you done it successfully? Because I have tried with multiple tools and I haven't been able to find anything that mimics my voice exactly.
Yes.
But not really.
Oh, okay. Yes. So we actually did a project internally, and I can't talk much about the project, but yes, it's possible, and we are able to achieve the custom voice level. Like even the pre-trained voices, those works perfectly fine, but with the custom voice, you can always achieve the same level of granularity, but it may need lot of data from you so that it can capture all your tones, ups and downs, highs and lows and everything. So with all these details, a new model can be able to perform very well. I don't know what products out there which is using this technology that's behind what I'm talking about, and if there is one, that definitely is that can do whatever your ask is.
Thank you. What about for leveraging influencer marketing to promote your products and services? What kind of AI agents do you recommend entrepreneurs leverage, and what would the tasks be?
To promote your product, as we already talked about, right, to create a right content and find the right lead. So those were the places where your agents can help you. And apart from that, it can also help you monitoring the results, right? How many were opened. So if you just send some content and how many opened it and how many responded and what's the impression. So those types of details is one thing what I would say. Like we already talked about two, and this is the third thing where agents can help you. But it has to be implemented or given it in a right way so that can benefit you most.
Yep. Thank you. Tell us where entrepreneurs can find you.
Yeah, you can connect me with LinkedIn. So it's NAVINTKR. That's my ID. You can connect me there, and I also have my own website. And you can connect me. You can you will know about me and then my latest innovations and things like that on my website. It's naveenkrishnan.net, NAVEENKRISHNAN.net. So that's my website where you can reach me there.
Follow me for more AI productivity tools.